Two guys walked into a bar, and one guy walked into a hole, and the other guy who walked in said, "What? You're rewinding your life. Where you put you want." Off the time where the guy's gonna get for his chair and do some dancing, but he's not gonna do it today. Nope, nope, nope. Good morning. Marty's in the lab with Keith, Jon C. Marty. Producer Kristina Flynn, our guest today, Seth Kuhn. Rewriting your life story, creating the future you want. What kind of future do you want? You want a future where you lay in bed and you hit the snooze button, you don't get up and hit your goals? Or do you want a future where you roll over, get your ass out of bed, and attack those goals? Achieving the biggest things you want to achieve when you start your day here. Mornings in the lab with Keith and friends here, getting things started with the morning loop. Hey, big show today. I remind you guys, this is an explicit show. So if you got children in the room, I know Seth's kids are still sleeping right now. Get those kids, put those headphones on or walk them out of the room, because we might just drop an F-bomb, an S-bomb, a B-bomb, some kind of bomb along the way, which might offend somebody. And hey, if you're offended, you got a choice. You can turn the channel. You can go somewhere else, or you can stick around, hang out with us, and have some fun and have a little bit of entertainment with the gang. From Mornings in the Lab with myself, Marty, and our good friend, Jon Anderson. What is going on, team?
What's happening?
What up?
Good, good. What's going on, Kristina Flynn? Oh, we have Seth Kuhn here. Hey, what did you guys think of my opener today? I pulled the joke out of the jar. Marty, I was thinking about you all night, man, when I was thinking about my joke, and I was thinking about you, Marty, and I'm thinking, oh, Marty's going to love my joke today. Christopher Martin, I know you're just like, you're waiting for a response, weren't you, pal?
I think I missed the joke.
I was gonna say I'm going back in the mental theater right now, and I'm trying to find the joke.
You did say Christopher Flynn, though.
You did, yeah.
Oh, did I say Christopher Flynn?
Was that the joke?
No, I guess
That was terrible.
So the boy here, Keith, has already wrecked the opening of the show, but we do have a great guest joining us this morning. Seth Kuhn is joining us here this morning. He is going to be talking about rewriting your life story here with Seth Kuhn here. Dude's joining us from the Pacific Coast, just down the road from Johnny. John, you guys woke up in the middle of the night there. Here's the morning loop. Morning show here this morning. We got Enzo joining us this morning as well. Good morning, Enzo. Good to have you here this morning. Listen, at the second hour, I got a massive announcement. The morning loop reloaded in an hour. John Marty don't even know about this announcement. Tina knows about the announcement. We got a big announcement coming up in an hour that you guys are all going to want to tune into. So I invite you to hang around for the morning loop. Reloaded coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Every time you say you got us to tell us something that you don't tell us, I'll be honest, it makes me have to crap. It's that time in the morning where sometimes I may not have gotten everything out the way, and you say that, and it puts a little wiggle up in me, and I have to. It makes me want to go.
Kristina, what is going on?
I'm
not sure what's going on right now. What are we doing here?
So we know that when my announcement comes up, John's going to the bidet. So that'll fill up here a little later this morning.
That's crazy.
We have an announcement, but not just sneaking aside. I had a couple of meetings last night, and those meetings turned into opportunity. And the opportunity I'm going to share with you guys a little bit later this morning, which I'm really jacked and excited about, coming up here later today.
If it ain't, I don't want to hear it. No, I'm playing.
That's it. It's the whole idea of something, an announcement or something is going to tell us that's an excitement. Sometimes you get excited, you feel like you got to take a piss. I just took a piss right before I got here, but I didn't take a dump. That's where it comes from.
You don't have to cover up. It's okay. Me and Tina don't get it, and we're ghostwriting.
About me talking about taking a dump right on live shit here. Where's the cover up in that, man?
You're trying to justify taking a dump at 5 in the morning. It's 5 in the morning over here. You think about taking a dump.
First one was rolling out about 3:05. Let's be honest. There's no cover up. If you come out and talk about taking the dump, no matter what you say after that, there's no cover up.
I'm not gonna lie, man. 3 in the morning dump is crazy, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
We're taking Jon to the doctor.
I wake up in the morning and the body says, hey, it's time for a new one. Let's go. Let's get rid of the old. It's time for the new. And that's how the day starts.
Oh, that's how the loop starts. Okay.
So the loop starts. That's right. And get rid of the old.
It's not the loop. It's the poop.
I guess you can say that's a good point, brother. The poop starts the loop.
There you go. Oh, there we go. That's it.
Oh, you're hanging out with Keith, Jon, Marty, producer Kristina, and we're having a conversation that I know David Sowers and the friends from Royal Restrooms would love to be a part of, as we are hanging out talking about morning movements at 3 o'clock in the morning here on Mornings in the Lot with Keith and friends. And hey, we got to pause and look at all of our friends here hanging out in the feed. Good morning, good time. No, yeah, I'll dance. I'll find some time to dance today. Thank you. And I appreciate the words of encouragement. Good times, Jon. Of course. Who else we got here? We got Enzo, of course. He was always joining us. Hey, Kristina, Enzo's going to join us in October. Enzo, we're gonna come knock on your door here on the LinkedIn feeds. They're here to load it today. Going to put a calendar in your messages there for me and Kristina, and we're going to get you on the show for center stage or deep dive. And Kristina, Marty, John, we're going to use Enzo to bring the median age of our show down. True story. So Seth, we want to have you on the show here, man. We absolutely want to have you on the show. Hey, Marty dropped a video in my feed 2 days ago, and we were going to show it yesterday, but we didn't get around to it. And we're going to show it today. Tina doesn't know anything about it either, actually. Jimmy, we're going to throw the video on the screen.
Hey, Tina, he didn't shit on this one this time. Approved of this one.
Right now.
No, this is actually nothing crazy. It's
Okay,
nothing crazy.
like fun.
Well, but let's be honest. He approves of almost everything. So that's not saying much.
So
Yeah, you got a point.
video. So it's funny though, with Johnny, because Marty loves dropping videos with commentary. He's like, hey, Keith, just check his video, and this is how it's gonna go. This is gonna go with you. This is gonna go with John. This is gonna be in Flynn. I'm like, all right, it's pretty good actually. So Marty's got the whole script in his head about the whole thing. So
Listen,
anyway,
I'm a man with vision, so it's how it goes.
you are a man with vision. So we're gonna run this video here, and then we're gonna take a break we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna come back with accountability check, and then we're gonna bring in our friend Seth Kuhn to talk center stage and get to know Seth a little bit here. But Jimmy, I got the video show up on the horizontal feed here. I'm gonna throw up on the vertical feed here. We're gonna run this video for I guess about less than a minute, and then we're gonna comment on it. So let's do it, Jimmy. Let's do it. We're gonna put it up here on the screen here. Add to stage. Nike got a new CEO. Do you know where the Nike CEO started? The new Nike CEO started as an intern. And for 30 years, he's worked his way up starting as an intern and is now the CEO. It's highly probable for anybody that is committed to that kind of development to eventually end up in a role like that if you do it long enough. And if you continue to gain skills on your own without being told to, without being pulled along, dude, you're infinitely valuable to somebody. And maybe there's not the opportunity at where you are, but where you'll get in the right spot someday and you will win 100%. So you saw that video, something moved you on it, and you're like, I got to share this with the team. I love where it comes from. Christopher Martin, what got you going when you saw that video, brother?
So we got Johnny here. Please look, I didn't get a job. I told myself I'm not getting a job ever. I'm going to start my own business and I'm going to succeed that way.
Nope.
But then we got Keith here on the other side who had a regular job where he met Maurice, and you had some other jobs before that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And you developed your skills through working regular 9 to 5s, becoming the manager at the cell phone place, right? And you developed your skills there. You moved that to business. You're more like the guy at Nike, but John is the opposite of the guy at Nike. So I wanted to hear you guys go at it and talk about which one is better. But the point I wanted to make was basically like, it doesn't matter how you start, just get to it. As long as you get to it, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
This is good, man. This is good because I totally see what you're saying, Mark. But here's the thing: we got it looking at me. We got to take and we got to just go one layer deeper. What we're looking at that 10% of the iceberg you can see. What you're not seeing is that 90% that's underwater. What I mean by that is my skill set has developed. First off, I got to say the guy that did this for 30 years, beautiful, because most people can't even get a decade focused on one thing. Anyway, side note. So for me, I totally see where you're coming from, but my skill set that's been developing has been underwater. It's my problem solving skill set. It's my showing up skill set. It's all the basic shit that you can't see. And then when I take that and I apply it to something, boom, I get there real quick. Now, this guy, he developed his skill sets literally within Nike the whole time. I've been developing my skill sets as a problem solver, as an entrepreneur, as an athlete. So it was my development is still there. It just, you don't see it all in view, if that makes sense.
Yep, definitely makes sense.
Yeah, I like that, Johnny. And when I heard that story, I wrote that promotion too, and then I saw Marty's video. I like it because it teaches perseverance. It teaches that whole idea that if you keep your head down, you show up every single day, good things happen, right?
And the thing that people got to realize is that it's the time that you're spending where nobody can see is the important shit.
Yes.
It's like when I popped up in my pro strong, where'd this guy come from? Grinding it out for 20 years, you just couldn't see him.
And you know what, Johnny? I feel the same way about this show, right? You're here, I'm here, Marty's here, Kristina's here. We're doing our thing. Seth's in the green waiting for us. We're quietly under the radar right now, doing our thing, right? All the work is happening underneath the water. And some people can see the tip of the iceberg peeking out. This morning show, this morning, the lab thing. And then Johnny, one day, people are like, holy fuck, where did this come from? You guys haven't seen us when we were sitting around and nobody showed up. You guys didn't see us when nobody was here banging it out in days on days. Could you imagine, Johnny, that fellow, I can't recall his name, who became the CEO, but could you imagine those days like 20 years ago when he had no idea that his journey was going to end up being the boss of that company? That's a
Totally.
story, isn't it?
30 years ago, for God's sake.
Yes.
Christ almighty, it's an amazing story. And here's the thing, like going back to what we're doing here with this show, Keith, one of the things that, when we connected and I saw what was going on here, I recognized in you that you're totally used to grinding it out when no one can see. You're totally used to doing the shit that it takes to make sure that your momentum is going to be gathered or gained, so to speak, whether it's under the water or out where people can see it. I'm the same thing. I've from the beginning, I started grinding away on something that I knew was going to take a long time, and I stuck with it. And my rate of showing up stays 100%, just like yours. And that's what allows something like this to actually turn from, say, an airplane to a rocket ship.
You're absolutely right. And that's the theme here, man. That's the theme. It's the reason I knocked on Chris's door, see Marty Fit's door, when Nicole and I got this thing started and you're making some changes. And I know there's one dude that I've been watching on Instagram. I've been watching on YouTube. He's got this show, the See Marty Fit podcast. I've been watching him from afar. And Johnny, the guy just kept showing up. I'm like, I got to knock on that guy's door because the guy just shows up relentlessly day in and day out. And then I met Flynn and we talked for, it was supposed to be a 30-minute conversation, ended up being a couple hours. And I'm like, wow, this person just keeps showing up too to our conversation. And then I'm watching our guests, and we're bringing up here in 2 minutes. And that dude keeps showing up. You're like, man, I want to be surrounded by people that show up all the time, because when you show up all the time, that's how magic happens, like the CEO of Nike. So Chris, Martin, Christopher, see Marty, thanks for sharing that with us, brother. Tina, quick comment for you before we move on with the accountability check-in. Just a quick one from you.
I love it. For me, it reminds me of my dad. My dad started as a stock boy at a liquor store here in Ontario. He worked his way up over 30 plus years and is now on the board of that same company. So I love seeing those opportunities. I love seeing that. I need more of that in me. So I'm always lucky to be surrounded by people that are teaching me about patience and not trying to hit the home runs. But it's a beautiful thing, and you can learn transferable skills anywhere. It's just how you then actually put them into work.